Hi Shania, thank you for being in this interview. I will ask some questions about self-love and short film, and you just tell your opinion about it. First question: what do you think affects negatively on self-love and why? That could be social media, bullying, body image, etc.
Um, well, social media is one of the biggest things of this century because millions of people have some sort of format of social media. And the thing is, people see like a model or something and they automatically look at themselves and think, oh, why can I not be like that? And I wish I could do that or be like them. But little do they know that that photo could be edited, and because they don't know these things, it could affect how they feel about themselves, which could be a big impact on them of their self-love. Because don't get me wrong, I've done it myself. I know what it's like to compare yourself to pretty people and they're quote-unquote pretty like.
And also the perfect life in it.
Yeah, and the perfect, yeah.
Parties and
Yeah.
happy.
But little do they know that's not the real thing they are seeing. It's just a picture. They don't know what's behind it, you know?
What do you think about being in a relationship and not loving yourself?
Well, being in a relationship, you gotta, before you can even have one, you gotta love yourself, because how are you supposed to love someone else if you can't love yourself? Because if you love them, then why can't you love yourself? Because you're perfect the way you are. No one else is going to be you. Only you can be you. And if there is that big impact in your relationship, then it's not going to work in the way that you want it to work.
If you could give a suggestion of what to do for people who don't love themselves to start loving themselves, what would it be?
Well, for starters, compliment yourself in the mirror. Say, oh wow, I look nice today. Because just those simple words can do a big impact. And another thing, stop comparing yourself to others. I know it's hard, it really is, but you have to appreciate what you are and not what you are.
Even if it's hard.
Even if it's hard, because those imperfections then are what makes you perfect in other people's eyes. So they should be the same as for you.
What is your favorite coming of age movie and why it's your favorite? If you don't have one, it's okay.
I don't think of any movies about things like that.
No?
If there is, it's probably I haven't seen them.
Okay, it's fine. If there was a short film about low self-love for teenagers and maybe young adults, what genre would you like it to be and why? It's like comedy, horror.
Well, first starters, I think it should be realistic, because if it's going to be like comedy or horror, how people are going to take things serious? Because this matter is a very big topic, and people need to have information about it and know what it's like and how to deal with it. If there's such a movie out there, then it's just people really need to watch it, because if they don't watch it, then how are they going to learn from their mistakes?
And give awareness for people.
And awareness, yeah, because there's a lot of people in this world that
who doesn't know about
doesn't know it, yeah. They need these informations, these small tips to understand if they want to change it, then change it. But if it can't be changed, then it can't be changed. You're going to accept it for what it is, for what not it is.
If there was a short film about low self-love for teenagers and young adults, what would you like to have in the short film?
Well, first of all, I like to see people like who've gone through it themselves. People like me who've experienced it and like grown from it. So then they can tell their stories of what they've been through and how it happens to them. So then people can compare themselves to what situations are similar and how they went through it and how they growed from it. So then other people, such as myself, or other young ladies or young gents, can grow from it and have a bit more information than just not knowing nothing and feeling rubbish about themselves. Like,
For the soundtrack, what soundtrack would you suggest and why?
well, at the moment, I'm listening to this group called Icon for Hire. They talk about, from what I've read from the lyrics, it's about stuff like self-harm and all them, and how it doesn't get rid of your emotions. It might work for a short period, but it doesn't mean it's gonna make it go away. It's always gonna stay there, and they know what it's like to have these negative things about themselves. And one of the lyrics says, I can cut those words away, but they're not gonna get rid of my self-hate or something like that. And I think it's very important for that statement, because, like I said, your emotions are still going to be there after you've done what you've done. It's best to deal with them straight on, or if you can't deal with it straight on, then put a time and date to deal with it and forget about it until that date comes, and then do it.
And finally, should the short film have voiceovers and no talking action, and why? Or shouldn't have it?
No voiceovers. I personally think it should be the actual person's voice
Talking.
talking.
Like
Yes.
action, talking.
Yes, because yes, they might do voiceovers too, because the person wants to keep themselves anonymous. They can if they want to, if it's necessary. But I prefer it to be the actual person speaking, because then if they are talking, right, it shows that they're confident and how they can learn from them, rather than a voiceover. Like, don't get me wrong, a voiceover can do as much as a normal person could do, but it's preferred to have the person speak from themselves. So it shows the person that's watching it, like, oh, they got the confidence, so I can do it myself. I can learn from them like this.
Thank you for being in this interview. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me.